Hey everyone, I'm going to talk about Planet of the Apes, which by the way, I don't know if anyone has this edition with the DVD, but right here on the front cover there's a scene from the next movie, Beneath Planet of the Apes. But anyway, I love Planet of the Apes. It's one of my favorite science fiction films. I love science fiction films like Solaris, 2001, A Space Odyssey, those kind of films. But it's films like Planet of the Apes I can watch continuously. If you have never seen this film, then first of all, what's wrong with you? And second of all, you're probably familiar with it anyway. Charlton Heston plays an astronaut who travels at the speed of light, and he crash lands on another planet, and it's because he was traveling at the speed of light, it's 2,000 years in the future. He crashes on this planet where the apes have dominated man. They are the supreme conquering beings on this planet. They have evolved into a smarter, more powerful group, and the humans have devolved pretty much. They've become more animalistic. They operate pretty much on instinct only. They're not very smart. They can't talk. And there's two other astronauts with Charlton Heston in this film. One of them is killed when the apes were hunting the men, and the other one is lobotomized. And Charlton Heston is basically fighting for his life because the apes there consider him evil, except for these two other apes, Cornelius and Zaius, played by Kim Hunter and Roddy McDowall, which they are the two biggest characters in the whole Planet of the Apes franchise. I don't think Kim Hunter was in all the movies, but I think Roddy McDowall was. Yeah, and one thing I think that's really impressive with these films is just how you can really sense the facial expressions on the masks. I mean, it's mostly masks, and yet you can detect like all the different emotions in there, and it really does feel like you're watching talking apes. I know it seems kind of silly, but what you really do get into these films, it's very quickly paced, very entertaining. It's the kind of film where if I'm flipping through channels and it's on HBO or something like that, I'll watch it from where it is to the end of the film. I consider this a masterpiece and a classic, filled with so many classic lines. It's a madhouse! Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. Filled with classic lines. Charlton Heston is great. Dr. Zaius, I always get a kick watching. Yeah, and one of the things that really makes me love this is that let me just check to see. Yep, screenplay was done by Rod Serling, who did The Twilight Zone. He was best known for his work as The Twilight Zone, and The Twilight Zone is my favorite show of all time. I've watched that show every New Year's Day, July 4th on Sci-Fi Channel. And the main reason why I got the golden age of television criterion was because I was very interested in seeing Rod Serling's early work. Excuse me, my mouth's side of my face is sore. It's swollen, as you could probably tell. Yeah, this movie's just awesome, and it's filled with so many great imagery, like the spaceship in the water, and the scarecrows. And I remember one time when I was in Arizona, I was going through these canals as like a tour, and the person that was running the tour mentioned that some of Planet of the Apes was shot where I was. So I thought that was really cool to visit the locations of a real classic. I love this film. And one thing I always loved about Charlton Heston, by the way, is that there's plenty of directors and actors who don't really do commentary. And meanwhile, Charlton Heston was one of those actors who always did commentary. There's plenty of films he did commentaries for that they did. And this is one of those films that I could picture sounding really stupid on paper. Talking apes. Everyone's wearing masks and all that kind of stuff, but it works really well on screen. If I love this film so much, I consider it a 4 out of 4. As you can tell, I'm pretty much just projecting my thoughts on the whole series. I'm not really giving a review as much as I am talking about how much I love these films. And the ending to this film is just classic. Odds are, even if you've never seen the film before, you probably already know what the ending is. It's like Soylent Green, where everyone knows the ending because it's so iconic. Yeah, so Planet of the Apes. Next up will either be the new Planet of the Apes, which I doubt, or will be Beneath Planet of the Apes. So, thanks for watching. There'll be more to come.